All right, we got Wesley Warren Jr. coming into the studio, promoting the man with the 132-pound scrotum.
I like the fact they named the fucking thing that. There was no hemming and hawing about the name of it.
Right.
Not much left to the imagination.
And it's on tonight at 9 p.m. on TLC.
Yeah.
The Learning Channel. Wesley, welcome to the show, brother.
Come on in. Take a seat over there.
Ryan's down here?
Nah, we're good.
How are you?
We're easy.
Hello there.
Welcome.
Easy
We're on the
going.
air, actually. We are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how we work. We just kind of crank the mics up.
Sure.
Whatever the hell happens.
Pleasure to meet you guys.
Pleasure to meet you, Wesley.
How you doing?
I walk in carrying this orange hoodie here
Yeah.
because it's a symbol.
Oh.
It's a symbol of what I used to have to wear for a pair of pants.
Yeah, you used to have. I saw the pictures. You have
And
that.
it's, you know...
Well, what do you mean? What you had to wear sweatpants? You mean, or
No.
No, this is an actual sweat jacket. You know, it's a hoodie, hooded sweat jacket that you know, I realized in Las Vegas. Okay, I realized in Las Vegas that I had a closet full of hooded sweat jackets. Being from New Jersey originally, and I'm out in Las Vegas where there's no use for hooded sweat jackets, and I was trying to figure out what in the world could I use to put on for a pair of pants when I have to go out to the bank, when I have to go out to the store, to a doctor's appointment. And I couldn't find anything to wear because my at the time, my testicle sack was about 100 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
Instead of 200 when it was on the day of the surgery on April 8th of this year. And I'm taking a look at these jackets that I have in there and these. And I said, you know what? I wonder if I can just sort of like pin up the hood so it doesn't drag on the ground. And if I can turn this upside down and stick my legs through the sleeves,
To the armholes, and then
I can
actually.
have use in Las Vegas for my hooded sweat jacket.
So actually,
For
the
pants.
hood. You were wearing the hood over your scrotum.
Yeah.
Like that would
basically, upside down.
upside down.
Well, I would pin up the hood. Actually, because it would, I would have to turn it down,
Oh, my God.
Right.
and
just talking
my
to the mic
legs-
so they can make it.
put my legs through
the armholes.
arms, and this would be upside. This would be upside down.
Right.
Gotcha.
You know, and
Holy
zip it
mother
up.
of God! Wow.
And that's how I did the. You know, I didn't know they had an orange couch on the Howard Stern show. I went in matching the couch with my orange hoodie from my original interview a couple of years ago. So this is a symbol of something that I don't have to rely on anymore.
Wow.
How did you you go into the bank? If your scrotum was that big, how do you sit in the car? Are you sitting on them, or were you able to manipulate it so it's kind of in front of you and you're not crunching your own balls?
I couldn't ride in the car for a couple of years, basically. Wow. After I did the Howard Stern show in September of 2011, shortly after that, I mean, I couldn't get in the car.
Wow.
I had to sit in some sort of a van whereby I had enough leg room to put down a couple of crates in front of me, milk crates. Well, it started out with one milk crate before the testicle sac grew to whereby I needed 2 milk crates. But a milk crate and a giant pillow. And I lifted each side of the hooded sweat jacket. I used that to lift up my testicles so that I could place the rest of the testicle sac on the crate and the
Oh,
the
my
giant
What a chore. What, just as
Then I progressed to 2 crates.
Milk crates.
You know, so I used to have a little granny cart or luggage cart to go wherever I went, or an assistant, you know, to take
carry
all this
around the,
stuff around.
How long did your assistants last? Was that a tough job to fill?
One of them's still with me. I was Monique's out in the hallway. But it is tough, you know. You know, you're dealing with the genitals, and you're dealing with that area that people, I guess, only tolerate wanting to deal with somebody for so long. And I kept growing. I didn't stop growing down there.
Well, what?
Yeah, let's start from the beginning, though.
What,
how did it all begin? Yeah. Did you have
A
normal?
lot of people are not aware of the lymph nodes that they have in their body. And to this day, I don't even know where all of my lymph nodes are. I mean, and at the time in 2008 in May.
Wait, were you normal before 2008? Normal meaning just a normal looking.
At the time in 2008 when this happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Up until that time, I may not have been proud of my penis, but I wasn't embarrassed or ashamed about it either. But I was kind of proud of my kind of oversized testicle sack that I had. The walls, and when they were loose, they straddled apart, and at least I had that kind of. Something.
You had a big bag.
I felt that my masculinity felt very proud as a result of at least that much. And
what about the shaft back then? How was the shaft?
But unfortunately, because of those loosey-goosey, rather large testicles spreading apart there, when I hopped up as though I was coming out of a very bad dream or a nightmare, which I wasn't, but as though I was. When I hopped up onto the side of the bed so quickly as I did, my right leg slammed as hard as can be, as hard as it could have slammed onto my right testicle, and the pain was only about a dozen seconds, but it was so excruciating that. And I'm remembering this vivid like it was not just yesterday, but like it was last night. I pictured in my mind, guys, a tractor trailer wheel, a tractor trailer tire rolling off of my testicle. Literally, that's what popped into my mind, and I felt like, you know what, I dodged a bullet. But then the nighttime comes of this day, and I felt a sensational carpet burning sensation that wouldn't go away. I fell asleep.
Man.
Next morning number 2 now, somehow, for some reason, from the last time I got up to use the restroom, and when I woke up for the morning on day number 2, I had a testicle sack when I awakened about the size of a cantaloupe or like a honeydew melon. That fast. And
did you break the testicle and it filled with fluid?
Yes. Exactly.
Oh my God!
Now what?
And not fluid in the sense whereby you can stick a needle in there and drain it out like a balloon, water in a balloon. It was fluid more in the sense of like a juicy Thanksgiving turkey.
Ooh.
So it's all mixed in there
like a
with
brain almost.
Yeah,
in the meat of it.
Exactly.
Oh man! What now? Why did you immediately seek medical attention? You did.
Oh, of course.
And what?
They'd never seen anything like it. They didn't know what to do for me. They put me on some kind of antibiotic in case if I had some kind of an infection down there as a result of. And I explained to the triage nurse and the doctor as to what happened, but they put me on antibiotics and nothing was happening to correct the situation. But I've learned from in the past, you gotta follow the directions of taking antibiotics and go through that 2-week cycle or whatever the cycle is to complete, because a lot of times you don't see results until towards the end of the cycle. So in a couple of weeks I completed the cycle and my testicles were not getting any smaller.
Oh man!
I rushed back to that emergency room as quickly as I could, and I said, well, you know what? I've noticed some blood in my urine.
Oh man!
So they could take me a little bit more seriously.
Right. There you go. But you didn't notice any blood.
Well, I don't know if I want to go on record.
All right.
That or not. But I will say this: they took me more seriously and they kept me in the hospital overnight. They said, "Look, you're in luck." Because there's going to be the doctor on the halls of the hospital tomorrow doing his rounds that can look into your problem for you. All you just have to do is just stay one night. I'd never been in the hospital except for when I was like 3 years old or whatever. I can't. But in my memory, from when I was 4 years old forward, I'd never been in the hospital. So this was like, oh my God, okay, all right, whatever. I want this to go away. So I'm in the hospital Sunday night, Monday night.
Oh, man.
No doctor. Tuesday, Wednesday. Finally, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, when I was about going out of my mind, wait a minute, how come I'm not being attended to here? Why am I lying in this hospital bed?
Yeah.
Doctor comes in, examines me, says, well, it looks like your blood pressure's under. Turns out they were more concerned about my blood pressure when I'd gone into the hospital, the emergency room on Sunday than the testicle sac. And they kind of tricked me. I can't think of the right word I really want to say, but they tricked me into staying because I'm not going to stay in the hospital for high blood pressure. They got me to agree to stay, and I saw the doctor Thursday afternoon. I said, "Well," he said, "You're going to be good to go." I was good to go. I says,
"Yeah,
well,
what about my
this?
balls?
Yeah,
Come on."
Exactly. So he points out. He says, "Oh, what? What's?" I said, "Well, look." He said, points out the window to a building down the street, across the street, across and down the street, which is the outpatient surgery center for for UMC Hospital in Las Vegas. He says, "You've got to go over there. You've got to go over there. I don't know anything about this. I can't treat you."
Oh, boy.
Excuse me, you can't treat me. I said, So I go over to this outpatient surgery.
Did you have
center.
insurance, by the way?
No. I go to the outpatient surgery center, and they told me, at this time, that really wasn't an issue. Clark County in Nevada, if you're not on Medicaid, which I wasn't at that moment, I got a Clark County health card, which could pay for all of my medical problems then at that time.
So they weren't trying to screw you because they wouldn't get paid?
Not at that moment.
Okay.
Not at that moment. But when I went over there with my giant honeydew melon-sized testicle sac, the outpatient surgery center said, "Okay, well, yeah, we can schedule an appointment for you to come in to see a surgeon in 3 months."
Oh, man.
So a lot of people wonder, why did it take all this time? Why didn't you do anything? Why didn't I do anything? The system is set up in such a manner to whereby, if you're dying, you'll be dead before you can get a lot of things taken care of because you've got to wait your turn. And you got to, and eventually insurance and how they're going to be paid, the players involved that you need to be of assistance to you and help you, all of that eventually comes into play and can hold up the process.
3 months.
And
wow.
and so they just
that eventually turned into 5 years.
They just kept growing.
May 23rd, 2008, I had my surgery on Monday, April 8th, 2013.
Wait, so what happened? They say 3 months.
In California.
So what's going on for that 3 months, and then what happens when the surgery date comes? The original one that you said 3 months.
No. That was just to be looked at, to be examined by a surgeon over at this outpatient surgery center. During those 3 months, I'm basically sitting on my hands. I mean, I'm out there actually still trying to go out and make a living. I wasn't on Social Security at the time.
What kind of work were you doing?
Well, let's see, at that time, 2008. At that time, I was hunting around, scouting locations to put ATM cash machines.
Okay.
Which I loved doing that, and so I kept on running around doing that.
So you're waiting 3 months. You go to meet the surgeon, the original one. What does he say to you when you walk in and you show him these giant testicles? Had they grown by then?
Grown more, but slowly. The testicles originally, as like towards the end, originally grew only a little bit every few months. It got to a point after about a year and a half or so, maybe 2 years, it got to a point that for about 9 months, every fifth or sixth day, if it didn't happen on the fifth day, I knew, like clockwork, my brain was going to make my attack occur on the sixth day. I would get very, very, very cold. I would start feeling, I was like shivering. I would get cold shivers, which immediately led to my shaking like a person on epilepsy. Well, not epilepsy entirely, but I would start getting
tremors.
Yeah. I started shaking like a leaf all over the place. My muscles, my body would tense up, and I would just like shake. For about 45 minutes was like the quickest time, but usually closer to 2 hours. That episode would happen every fifth or sixth day, and then afterwards, is when I felt it. I knew. I just always somehow knew that my ball sack was a little larger.
Oh, my God.
What was that shaky? Was it something with your pituitary gland, or what is it that made it grow? That was obviously your body pushing fluid into it or doing something, right?
And it was wreaking havoc on my, on something in my brain was being affected by what was going on in my testicle sack. You see,
tell me about it.
At that
It happens.
You're not alone there, sir.
Yeah.
At that time, when I was lifting up my testicle sack to plop it basically into the toilet bowl whenever I would have to urinate, and if the back side of it rested in a certain place along the side of the inside of that testicle bowl. Toilet bowl.
It was a testicle bowl at that point, right? Wow.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
I would actually start to feel lightheaded. Or like I was going to have some kind of, I became lightheaded. My heart would flutter. So different parts of the body were communicating in a weird way with each other as a result of this.
So you meet this surgeon 3 months in, and what does he say to you that he thinks it is? What does he say? To come back in a month, or
There's
what's
nothing I can do for you.
That's what the first surgeon says?
He says, I've never seen this sort of thing before. He orders all kinds of tests. So by the time I go and I get all these various tests done, and he says, you've got to go back to your primary care physician.
Wow.
Because I don't know what I can do for you. I've never treated anything like this before. So he says, you probably have something like they have over in the continent of Africa, like elephantitis. We don't know anything about how to treat that.
Yeah.
So what eventually happened was,
Nagel syndrome.
I got a referral.
The scientific name for that.
I got a referral from the hospital to go see Dr. Mulagata Kasahan. And Dr. Kasahan, turns out, he was, and supposed to be still, the absolute #1 top urological surgeon in the entire state of Nevada. He says, my friend, nobody will touch you. Nobody will want to do anything with you but me.
Oh.
And he said, and the best that I can do for you is to do a clear cut. Cut it all off.
What?
And you'll have to urinate through a tube for the rest of your life.
Your dick, too?
Yes, everything.
Wow.
So my mind was
Can't leave the dick.
Oh,
Fuck.
There's got to be another way.
Yeah.
This is not a cure.
Jesus.
This is not a cure for me.
What was he saying it was? He had to be giving you some kind of a diagnosis as to what was causing it.
Scrotal edema, a massive scrotal edema, which basically, an edema is caused, it's like a massive growth, which is brought on by fluids and whatnot, enlargement of your body mass tissue, and so basically scrotal edema. What they wanted to do, what they decided to do, was to put me in the hospital at UMC. He says, let's figure out, let's try to see if we can do something for you. And so basically what they did was what they call a left inguinal hernia operation on me. And that was after my being in the hospital for 5 weeks and multiple teams of doctors coming in to examine me and look at me as if it's some kind of a test case or experiment or something. I mean, it was unbelievable. So in the 5th week out of 8 weeks total in the hospital, I have this surgery. After 8 weeks, I am crying as I'm leaving the hospital because I had a bigger testicle sack after 8 weeks than when I went in there to try to do something.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
How big was it at this point now?
I don't know, but it wasn't too long after I was on the Howard Stern show, and they had an actual digital scale there for me to weigh the actual testicle sack on, and it measured up to, the weight was 145 pounds.
Wow.
At that point.
God.
And the skin could stretch that much?
Apparently so.
Apparently so is
Amazing
right.
out
I
of
know.
me.
I'm amazed by that. You would think something.
Look, it's like a kid being amazed by how your penis can go like this to like that when you're fully erect. It's like, where does all that? How's all that come about from that?
Let me ask you now: would your balls feel solid, or did it feel like fluidy when you would touch them? Did it hurt to touch them?
You know what? It's funny. I could sit and I could bang on them like a drum.
Whoa.
You know, just for the heck of it, just to, maybe show off to somebody that was looking at me like, oh, wow, holy shit, look at this. I said, you know what? I can bang on these things all day long, and I don't really feel any pain.
I'm sure that wasn't helping.
But yet, I could punch them, I could bang on them, but yet, don't let me just slightly touch the edge of a door or the kitchen cabinet door. If that dings me, it was like the worst pain.
Why?
I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. The door could hit me. The corner of a kitchen cabinet, below the sink, I could hit up against that, or it can come out and hit up against me.
Yeah.
And it was like a
terrible.
very extreme, painful feeling. But I could slap it and bang on the damn thing with my hands, and I wouldn't feel that kind of pain.
So sex was out of the question, Wesley.
There was no question.
Okay, yeah, obviously.
No.
Crazy question, but was there any point where you, like, as a man, you get urges? Did you, like, were you able to masturbate or ejaculate in that whole time?
I've lost. Okay, the doctor says I lost all testosterone.
Yeah, I guess it kind of affected the testicles themselves. Too much fluid.
When you have I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe I shouldn't speak for everybody, but I'm just guessing that if you have low testosterone or no testosterone in your body, it's like the urge, the desire, just disseminate. It just goes away. And you can't miss something that you don't have a desire for. It's like, I guess a lot of guys don't have as much of a desire for an old lady that they might have had for a wife for 30 years, but some hot young honey walks by and all of a sudden, boing, it's like, if you don't have a desire, then you don't miss it.
Now, at the time, this sounds like a weird question, but were your balls themselves bigger, or was it just this, like, the fluid around them? Were the balls tiny in the middle of all this?
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good question because the answer is that exactly. The testicles were still there inside of the giant mass of skin, and were still sunken inside of the giant body mass that grew from the testicle sac all around it.
So the balls hadn't grown?
According to Dr. Gelman, no. I saw a video last night in preparation for all this publicity today to promote the documentary that's coming out tonight at 9 o'clock on TLC, Eastern and Pacific Time, 8 o'clock Central Time.
I think a lot of
people
people
in the Mountain Time Zone, I don't know,
Yes.
but I love you,
Yeah.
Salt Lake City and Denver anyway. But the point is...
It's called, sorry to interrupt you, Wesley, it's called The Man with the 132-Pound Scrotum, which really, it sounds like a fucking
But it
Ed
was
Wood
actually
science
200
fiction
pounds.
film.
Yes.
But it was actually 200 pounds.
Was that title already taken?
Good question, because if it wasn't, I wish they would have called it that, because that's what I had to be inconvenienced hauling around. That's why I had an issue with that title. But, I just hope it's a successful documentary nonetheless. And I want to finish your answer to your question. When I was taking a look at a video in preparation for all this tonight, the British version is a little bit more graphic. And so I was looking at that. The doctor had to operate a couple of hours, a little more than a couple of hours, before he was able to actually locate the buried testicles. Wow. And he pulls them out. And it was like you said, like a movie. They're like two balls with a long, slimy stem rising from the deep inside of the tissue of the sac, and he holds them up like this, and sort of like a baby with an umbilical cord. It's like attached deep inside there, and but they were basically the same testicles as I've always.
Do you still have them, or did he have to remove them?
No, that's part of the miracle of Dr. Joel Gelman's technique. He's only one of about, so I've been told, he's only one of about a dozen surgeons in the entire country that can perform this special type of surgery. Like finding a needle in a haystack is finding someone like Dr. Gelman to help somebody like me. And he is skilled at removing this type of a mass on someone while saving the penis and the testicles.
Damn.
My surgery was about 13 hours long.
Was your penis just the same, or was it mushed up on the top? Was there a pressure against it, or was it? How was your dick itself affected?
Originally, inside of the ball sack. Okay, imagine it was like a gigantic round beach ball type of skin mass growth, and imagine like a heart dipping in the center.
Right.
Okay. My penis was dipped deep inside of the center. It's like I had like a hole in the center of the front and center of the ball sack, and that's where the urine would stream out of whenever I'd have to urinate, because it was deep inside there, and it never covered up the head of it.
Was there a smell with this? Was it hard to keep clean, all this, or no? Did you just have to take extra care in the shower?
Yeah, I just whenever I had to use the restroom, I always clean myself.
Oh yeah.
I just constantly do that.
It just seemed like a hard area to get to. I mean, it's hard enough to get to your back, much less underneath all that. It just seems like a difficult.
Also, I had the help and attention paid to me by a home health care attendant for a while. Every day, or she'd come, and that was part of her duties.
Didn't talk about that.
One girl in particular, named Passion. And
Passion?
Yes, and she looked for
healthcare workers rock.
Yes, and she was too. Yes, she was.
Yeah. And, yes, she was.
Yes, she looked like she would come over to my home after having gotten off of a strip club pole.
Oh.
And I tell you, and she came over with her special technique of knowing how to tend properly to Warren's testicle sac. Believe me.
Wow.
And you just. If you can't do it yourself, you got to have somebody come in and do it because I didn't want it to get any worse than it already was due to proper hygiene care.
Right. Yeah.
So they finally. How do you get to this surgeon? Because obviously the first time you go to the hospital, you said for 8 weeks. It's bigger when you leave. And is there a point, like, when do you start to realize this is hopeless? It's not going to ever happen, or start to feel that way?
Well, there was a point that I was basically given no hope. And so I'm like, wait a minute, come on now. This is ridiculous. I was depressed for 5 minutes, and then I said, there's got to be an answer. There's got to be an answer. There's got to be an answer. There's got to be a solution. And I'm getting tired of it as I get older, but I'm pretty good at solving problems or finding the right person or people that can have the problem solved. So I said, I'm a fixer, essentially. And I had a problem of my own that had to be dealt with. And I just put my mind to thinking of a solution. So what I decided was, okay, me, and I got somebody to help me. I said, let's go online. Let's research whatever we can research to find the needle in the haystack. There's got to be somebody out there somewhere.
StephenSinger.com.
So
yes.
What was that?
StephenSinger.com.
StephenSinger.com?
Singer.
Oh,
yeah.
Steven Singer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and just throwing out a website.
Right on.
Well, the answer could have been there. Though.
Never know. Other
Gotta
corner
check all
eating walnuts.
sites. Right.
or how about, I wonder if anyone's registered walnuts.com. Yeah.
Whoa!
But anyway,
Chip loves that one.
you know, I was told about the Mayo Clinic. You know, why not give them a call? You
E-Rock
know?
Clinic.
If there's anybody that can help you, it should be the what do you call it? The Mayo Clinic. So that's when I find out the Mayo Clinic doesn't only exist in the Midwest. They have a campus not too far away, because I'm from Las Vegas, right? In these last 19 years, you know, right in Arizona. So I called up the Mayo Clinic. Oh, well, sir, I'm sorry, but we cannot give you any information pertaining to the possibility of what any of our physicians can do for you, unless
Sound like it's so.
you post $25,000 in cash with our admission when you come to see us. You go to admitting, and you post $25,000 cash, because we do not accept Medicaid, Medicare. You know, you must post $25,000, and then, and only then, will we make an appointment for you to see one of our physicians to then treat you or give you an initial examination.
Wow.
So the initial examination was not possible for me unless I would post 25 grand. And she said, as you would need care from the very first exam, we will deduct the cost of whatever.
Oh, okay, that's not a fee just to meet with them. They take it off.
I bet that goes pretty quick, though.
Yeah, sure.
Mayo
25 large at the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew
She went to the Miracle
obviously
Whip
they
Clinic.
were on the
cheaper.
outs as far as an option for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shoot. Okay. So they're out there. Maybe there are others out there that I'm just not finding. So I thought, you know what? Let me put my 25 years or so of listening to the Howard Stern show to good use. I said, you know, I'm going to call and find out somehow how to get the number to the back office and get whatever numbers I can affiliated with Sirius satellite radio. At the time, it wasn't Sirius XM.
Because now you just got to get the information out there, get your name out there.
I got to find out
and find someone that could help you out.
Who in that Stern Show office would be willing to talk to me, know my story, and see if they would be interested in a meeting in putting me on the show, so I can get the word out that I'm looking for a specialist of all specialists.
Right.
You know, and anybody out there, you know, that could be of assistance, you know, if I don't have the insurance to cover it. You know, maybe some rich charity, maybe some generous celebrity. All I need is one, you know. So I figured the male audience listening, which is pretty much male,
Sure.
listening to a show like The Stern Show is bigger than male and female audience of Letterman and Leno put together. I says, if anybody's going to understand my plight and sympathize with me and maybe want to help or offer advice or contributions or whatever, it's going to be a male audience that doesn't want to, that can identify with me and will not want to be in the position that I'm suffering, that I'm in. So I wound up, surprisingly, they were interested.
Surprisingly, no, I think that's pretty predictable.
They flew me in.
Let me ask you now. Let me ask you the plane.
Wow.
You get on the plane.
Oh, boy.
How do you sit on the plane? How do you get gigantic testicles onto the plane?
Well, you know, like I said, I'm pretty much. I try to be pretty good at being a problem solver, and I thought of the possible logistics of this. I contacted the TSA. I contacted the person that would be
Testicle Storage Association, I believe it.
I contacted Flyer Passenger Services at McCarran International Airport. I said, listen, I don't want you guys to think I have a
McCarran,
bomb.
that's a great name. McCarran, some big balls here. You need to put them somewhere.
Yeah, I said, I don't want to have any problem going through security, and I'm going to probably need a special seat on JetBlue Airlines for, you know, I said, what can you guys do for me? And they coordinated everything.
So you show up there. Is there a special line for you to go? Is it embarrassing, or are you beyond that?
I show up there. The head of the airport
Head.
TSA. I forgot what TSA stands for right now, but the head of the TSA was there. Some other airport highfalutin person was there.
Everyone with a cell phone camera.
And they had a wheelchair waiting for me.
Oh,
and
nice.
we
And a
just
wheelbarrow.
zoomed by everybody.
We're
and
now boarding our premier customers, those in first class and those with giant balls.
Luckily, I was barely able to. The bigger problem, other than the seat, okay, because they had plenty of leg room for me. I had a seat and then some for the open seat next to me. They were very accommodating.
Cool.
Didn't have to. The Stern Show folks did not have to pay for 2 seats for me, But the bigger problem was, I was hoping that I would not have to use the bathroom.
oh man.
Those
Yeah.
bathrooms are just a little bit tiny.
It's a small bathroom.
Yeah. So it happened. I'm like, we're flying. I caught the red eye on purpose. So I
Less people, yeah.
caught the red eye so I could maximize my time in New York. Plus I could sleep on the plane, but I woke up too soon.
Wait, you could sleep on the plane with 180-pound testicles, and I can't
Jim
fall asleep in
Cash.
first class? Jesus, you're amazing, dude.
Yes. But I woke up too soon. I wake up and on the TV in front of me it says News 4. Now, like I said, I'm originally from here. So it said News 4? Oh, we must not be too far. We're within range of picking up Channel 4 news on the TV.
Yeah, don't work like that.
I says to the flight attendant, I said, well, are we fairly close to landing? Are we on schedule for landing and, on time in JFK? And she says, oh, yes, well, we'll be arriving in about an hour and a half. I said, excuse me? I had to use the restroom then, and I was trying to wait.
Oh man.
So up I go.
Oh, no.
I squeezed, I was like couple aisles.
Clunking
rows.
people on the head.
How could you...
And I'm lifting the testicle sack. and
The guitar in airplane.
And I get the door open there, little door open, and I'm like literally squeezing.
Oh, wow.
in. I was like where's the gigantic jar of Vaseline? I need to slip in
Oh, my
here.
God.
Wow. And I get into the restroom, and I lift the lid onto the toilet. And it wasn't, and the door wouldn't close. My ass was keeping the door open. So finally, I was able to get myself forward, and I did not want my testicle sack to touch that toilet. And I was trying to hold it up, but once I got over the hole of the toilet, that's when the bathroom door closed about right on my ass, because I finally made enough room for it to close. But from that trip forward, the testicle sack got too big for me to be able to take any other flights, because I would not be able to fit into the bathroom on the plane.
Unbelievable.
You see, because there was a doctor in Greece that came with high praise, Dr. Prokopakis, another needle in the haystack. You've got to, you got to fly to New York, and even if they, put me up overnight here, there's about another 10-hour flight or whatever, 6-hour flight,
Sure.
or 10-hour flight to London. Then I got to fly to Athens. I was like, I'll never be able to do all this.
Can't do it unless you're on a private plane.
So luckily, Dr. Joel Gelman was found for me, and I was able to hop in a van that was provided for me, and with my milk crates and giant pillow and the center seat pulled out so I could have plenty of leg room. And I was
Help me
able
with
to
these
go
testicles.
to it.
Would you?
I was
Wow.
able to go to and from Southern California, which is, and stop at a rest stop or wherever along the way.
Sure.
Without having to deal with any kind of plane travel. So that's one advantage of going to Orange County for to see Dr. Joel Gelman rather than going over to, out of
Greece,
the
yeah.
country or anywhere else.
Now, when you finally get the surgery and you wake up, how much smaller is your scrotum? I guess he cut all that extra skin away.
Exactly, but there's in the aftermath, starting about a few weeks later, there's some kind of a little bit of water retention.
Oh.
A little bit of a water retention growth there, and so there's some rough inflated skin around the penis area, and that has to be taken care of in a surgery that Dr. Gelman wants to do within the course of the next few weeks. But it's expensive for me to go to and from Southern California, $300-400 every time I go. And luckily I can drive now. But a rental car is not free. The hotel is not free, but I got to go have this surgery done. First follow-up surgery. If you imagine a hot dog, like a pig in a blanket. You've heard of the pig in a blanket?
Sure, I enjoy them a great deal at parties.
Well,
that's how your rough sleeps.
Imagine that. You didn't realize what I said. That's part of the unique, wonderful humor of this program.
Yes, of course.
So, it's a little bit more humorous than what'll be on the documentary tonight at 9 o'clock on TLC.
Right.
But anyway, 8 o'clock Central. But the thing about it is that the penis, after recovery is full in about a year, it has been expected that the penis will be back to normal size. It will be exposed and back to normal size. But at this particular stage, it was only about an inch.
Oh man!
But the thing about it,
wow,
a hardened, sort of like a silly putty type of substance, skin rather, with fluid, caused by fluid retention, grew around that.
Oh, wow.
And it grew up and then around to whereby the head is only exposed by...
Like it's circumcised again almost, right? Or uncircumcised?
Like it's uncircumcised,
Yeah.
And I'm not used to being uncircumcised, but this is... it's like I'm uncircumcised with the penis inside, and it's got that little hole about the size of an eraser head opening right now, and I'm afraid that that's going to close up, and the slit of the penis is going to be closed up. And but I've been having urination problems anyway. They pulled the catheter out incorrectly, and I had to go to the emergency room about a month ago, because I could not. My body kept trying to urinate every 10 minutes. I felt like my bladder was going to burst, and nothing was coming out.
So
nothing for 5 hours.
You have to have this
5
under
hours.
surgery now, where they can kind of relieve
I have a
that.
narrowing of the urethra, or what they call a urethra stricture, which is Dr. Joel Gelman's specialty. It's only going to be about 4 or 5 hour surgery, supposedly, but as opposed to the 13, 14-hour surgery I had before. But Dr. Gelman says this is a more delicate, far more difficult surgery than the longer one was.
Does he have to go in through the hole? He doesn't slice your dick open, does he? Does he go through the hole of the penis?
He slices the what would be the blanket of the pig in a blanket.
Whoa.
He would slice the blanket that is the silly putty type
Around it.
right, and get rid of that. But he has to also go inside of the penis to repair the where the passageway has been narrowed.
Wow.
So luckily,
Oh,
I don't have to
God.
be awake for any of that.
Yeah, that would be awful.
Yeah, that would
you had
suck.
to be, if you had to fucking hold the light.
Leslie, do you
Let's just say it would never be sucked again.
do you show the area or what?
I have done that. I did.
Yeah.
I did a little while ago on the Stern Show.
You don't want to show it.
I would
here?
love to see it.
Well, if it creates
more people watching
more
the show tonight.
people
Of course it
to,
will. TLC tonight, the man with the 132-pound scrotum.
There's a representative I have outside in the hallway from TLC. The links that I am going to for the
to promote the show.
Yeah, to
the
promote this
documentary.
documentary hopefully will not go unnoticed
Yes.
by your executive VP that's in town this week.
You close the curtain. We just have to close the curtain. It's just the law. But it's honestly,
There's a guy sitting out there in the hallway, probably your security or something. I swear this guy looks like he's in the mob or something.
That's probably Kenny.
Kenny?
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
But honestly, it's
stoic.
It's something we've never seen.
Very stoic.
It is medically. I mean, it's something you hear about and you see old black and white photos of, but we've never had the chance to see it for real. And I'm sure they show it on Discovery anyway.
TLC.
Yes, for medical purposes.
Yep. You're not the first guy we've had to do this either. This is at least for a legitimate reason.
Well, poor little Bobo has urinary tract problems, and
He certainly
And
does.
I see you have a towel there
For
that
leakage, yeah.
for leakage. Okay.
I can't help but notice that New York Post headline there.
Oh.
A-Rod got beamed in Boston last night.
Yeah.
that was a good one. Yeah, he got
Okay, you can
he got
see-
nailed.
Now we can see the.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's
there.
a lot. The on the penis is covered up. It looks almost like an elephant trunk.
You see, this is what grew afterwards.
He's grabbing the right side of the upper right side of the scrotum, so it looks almost like someone has taken a penis and a giant penis and put it onto you on the. That's what it's shaped like, the side of a penis. And there's the hole
inside of this. Okay, this is
He's opening up the hole right there, and you can see inside the hole is where the urine will come out.
so it's completely covered.
Yes.
Inside of there.
Oh,
but
wow.
It was not as covered. It was unexposed.
Oh wow.
Or it was, I guess you should say, my penis was exposed.
Oh, that's.
About a month ago until.
It looks like a sign being swallowed by like a tree.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks
You know
like. It
what I
looks
mean?
like a
Like
tree. The root of a tree.
A tree just
And I
took
am
over
available
whatever
for
you
public appearances,
you
by the way,
posted
if anyone
on
would
it.
like to,
It doesn't look
sponsor
that
me
bad,
to come to the
Wesley.
show in person.
You know what? It's something.
It's a freak show. It's a living and walking.
It's a work in
freak show.
progress.
Not as bad as it was before.
No, it's a work in progress.
Thanks to the miracle worker, Dr. Joel Gelman, and his team. Dr.
haven't mentioned his name
Kobayashi,
enough, I don't think.
Dr. Kobayashi, the plastic
Sure.
surgeon extraordinaire. These folks did a wonderful job. Apparently, there were about a dozen surgeons, plus plus the doctors Gelman and Kobayashi that were the team for 13 hours that worked on me. But there's much more work that's
needs to be done.
Isn't that weird that Kobayashi's the hot dog eating champion from years ago?
Yeah,
at the,
you're right.
At
How
the,
ironic.
Nathan's annual hot dog eating competition. Yes.
It makes me crazy that we give money away to other countries, all
Yes.
this foreign aid, and here's a citizen, one of our own, who's obviously having a tremendously difficult go of it medically. It's like, you should be a priority. You know, that could happen to any one of us. Any guy with fucking a pair of balls could have some kind of a freak thing like this happen to him. It's you know.
And they say that it happened because you just banged your testicle hard, and that started.
Was that
down
what
this
started
road?
that?
I injured myself.
Unbelievable.
And it wasn't a conscious thing. It was just subconsciously. I don't know. I had this urge to sit up rather fast in the bed, and the right leg decided to just land right on top.
Oh my God!
It was like a
like Hulk Hogan's
a freak of nature,
leg drop.
Oh,
a
yeah.
freakish thing that just suddenly happened to me that makes me wonder, like, why would this sort of thing that's so weird and abnormal happen to me? It's not any kind of mistake that I made, some kind of a bad choice, or my being overly anxious to rush to do this or that or the other or anything else. So why didn't I just like slow down and not do it? Just for some reason or another, I was like I was startled. I just like something, a force of nature caused me to just rise.
And how old a guy are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm towards the end of the prime of my life, but I'm about 49. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it happened the whole thing started when you were about 44, something like that. 45?
May 23rd, 2008.
That was my birthday.
Oh.
Get out of
I
here.
swear to God,
There
May
you go.
23rd.
Now,
All right. Well, I had a nice day.
That's
Probably hard for him to be happy for your birthday.
I know,
Yeah.
that's why I'm sorry.
Maybe do you have any kind of
It's a day that will live in
predetermination for
infamy for me.
anything in you that shows that you had some kind of a predetermination for edema or anything like that, or bodily fluid
other than
building
being
up?
over, well, the doctor will tell you that the people that are overweight or tend to be a prime candidate for this sort of thing happening to them.
Oh, wow.
And who knows? Maybe if I was not overweight, maybe the injury of the testicle sac might have resulted differently.
Right.
But for that to happen, though, man, that's some kind of a gland or something in the body going haywire. An injury should not cause a 200-pound fucking growth. People get tumors like that in their stomachs. It's just
how many pounds did they end up removing?
100. Well,
that's why the show they removed 132 pounds of the.
According to my understanding,
yes.
After they used several sponges for quite some time to sop up all the blood and fluid and what have you that was squeezed and drained from that scrotum, what was left over was 132 pounds of mass, body mass.
Where is that? What do they do with it? They put it
into some kind of a. I saw this video last night. The British they dumped it in some kind of a massive garbage, medical garbage bag.
Wow.
And apparently, I think they call it pathology. I think that's the department in the hospital that's holding on to it. But in Dr. Joel Gelman's 18 years of experience with no fatalities, which gave me lots of confidence, he says that he's never removed a testicle sac quite so large. The hospital has never seen anything of such a massive nature. Now, I requested that before surgery. I said, listen, is there any way possible that I could retain that for me to go home with?
After all, it is yours.
Yeah,
be able to go home.
I mean, I don't come from money, and anyone that wishes to email me to find out how they can be of assistance to me, benefitballsack@yahoo.com is my email address.
Benefit ball sack. It's a great name.
Like going out to a benefit ball, BALL, benefit ball sack, SACK at yahoo.com. Look, I thought of the idea of putting it on eBay.
Oh, there you go.
You're not allowed to sell body parts on eBay, though.
Really?
Yeah, I think that they'll
those bastards.
they'd stop you.
So
There's got to be another way to do it.
Should have taken it to the pawn shop.
Yeah, in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, what am I going to do with that?
Well, you know
Pawn it or
what?
sell
In
it.
Las Vegas, there's a lot of things that you can pawn that I did not realize. I went out to Las Vegas in 1994, and unlike, I don't know how it is here now, but at that time, you couldn't pawn your car here.
No,
or anything like. In Vegas, you could pawn your car, your truck,
anything,
boat.
yeah.
You could take anything of any kind of value to the pawn shop, and they'll put a value on it, and give you money for it.
I'm starting to think that city is all about the green.
Jimmy.
Hey,
Hey,
Wow. That is
that's a hell of a story.
that
there,
is
Wesley.
something, as a guy, you listen to this and you do a little squirming in your seat there.
And the
squirming.
the documentary, Wesley, it's been very, very fascinating. It's tonight. It's called The Man with the 132-Pound Scrotum. It's tonight, 9 o'clock on TLC, and obviously
Eastern and Pacific time.
Yes, there's a Central
8 o'clock
time,
Central.
and also West Coast
7
time.
o'clock in the Mountain Time Zone.
Yeah.
Hey, after you watch it, guys,
In Hawaii,
hold
I
your
don't
balls
know
a little tighter tonight.
Yeah, wherever you
Hug your balls
are.
tonight.
And I know a lot of people have a hard time finding TLC, but if you have basic cable, it should be a part
Oh,
of
it's
it,
there, yeah, sure.
No, I know where TLC is. They
Yeah.
have great programming.
Just go through the channels, and when you see a man walking very uncomfortably, it's probably Wesley. See the Wesley? It's an old John Wayne movie. But you're an interesting guy. What a great attitude. You're much more upbeat and positive than I probably would be.
And by the way, I'm not trying to put down TLC. Let it be known. TLC, I think, is more known for a lot of the great shows that a lot of people like to watch, but they forget that the show might be on TLC. Like what is it?
Hoarders,
Buried
yeah.
Alive.
Yeah.
So many people have seen that show. And but a lot of people don't realize that it's on TLC.
Yeah.
And TLC is a great channel, a great network where you can learn a lot from watching and be entertained from watching a lot of shows like that and a lot of documentaries like the one that's
Your penis was buried
that's
alive.
coming on tonight.
So,
Oh, my God. Penis buried
and you were
alive.
hoarding, and you were hoarding fluids for a while there.
Oh,
That would
man.
have been a hell of a title, right?
My penis buried alive.
Wow.
The man with the penis buried alive.
That is something,
With
man.
200-pound scrotum attached. Yes.
Amazing. Well, it looks like it's a lot easier to get around these days.
I got one other question. When something very rare happens to you, you usually find someone else that has this somewhere else in the world. Did you ever come across others?
I got an email from somebody that constantly, well, semi-regularly kept in contact with me, who told me that he had an issue similar to mine, and he sent me, he emailed me photos of himself before and when he was in the hospital and after. You know, he's this guy from Salt Lake City. He's the one that went to Athens, Greece, and discovered Dr. Prokopakis and sung his praises like there was no tomorrow.
Oh, wow. How big was his?
His testicle sack, I think it was under 100 pounds.
It's
you know,
easy.
but you see, most people that have this issue,
it's a rookie,
have it way under 100 pounds. You know,
right? Wow. We're saying we got to wrap up because you got other press to do.
And
Wesley Warren Jr., this was fascinating.
Yeah, and it's also, if you want to help Wesley financially, you can go to benefit ball sack, one word, at yahoo.com.
Right.
And he's a real guy, and it's a
email,
real issue. Yeah. And, you know.
Hey, you know, what's also very appreciative also, people just, you know, they can't afford to do anything. And but they sympathize, they send words of well wishes.
Yeah,
sure.
And I'm a complete total stranger, and the fact that anyone takes the time to care, you know, it touches me. It really does.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you very much. I wish you a lot of luck, and you know, keep in touch with us. Let us know how the next surgery goes. Of course,
absolutely, Wesley. Come back and see us,
Good
please.
luck, yes.
Are you ready to read?
Now you get the hell out of here.
All right. I'm gonna go pee.
The Opie and Anthony Show.
Oh, my God.
I want to thank Wesley Warren Jr. for stopping in with his story.
Good luck, guys.
And right after the interview, did you
luck.
talk about it on the air?
A little bit during the read. I said, I said, Travis, and he handed me the read. And before the big bald guy even got up, I grabbed the read and put my face in the microphone, and that was it. Because I didn't want to make eye contact. I didn't want him to stick his hand out. But then I saw both of you shaking his hand.
Yes.
Now, he had manipulated that trunk-like device that has his penis inside. And he was actually fingering the hole.
I know.
And then you guys, like, shook hands.
I washed my hands before I peed, and then I rolled them.
Oh, that works, yeah, for Ebola and everything, sure.
I'm sure Dr. Gelman would approve. Don't worry about it.
Dr. Gelman. Look at his pecker, Gelman.
And then... Yeah, and then I touched my own balls because I had to go to the bathroom. So
I washed my
now I
hands.
get giant balls.
You should just touch your dick and make your dick giant.
Yeah, man. Why not?
What if your
do that?
hands just wake up and your hands are all giant?
That fucking pigs in the blanket line, I'm going to laugh for fucking...
I laughed at it, too.
I'm going to laugh for weeks at that.
Look, we're all on the same page.
Because it was
today.
so
Isn't it
quick
nice?
and brutal.
It was.
Pigs in the blanket. That's how you're sleep.
It was good you had a good one as you kept trying.
I know. It was very hard to get out.
Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic.
Mayo Clinic. They
Pigs
call it
in
the
the
Nagel
blanket.
Clinic.
There it is.
The Nagel Clinic.
I think I was bothered by the whole thing.
I was.
You get uncomfortable with that stuff,
Yeah.
don't you?
I was a little, but you're right. I was a little like bothered by it.
Because you were like just throwing out those like nervous lines.
I do. I
like,
get skeeved out. I get like really skeeved out.
Would you hold the hole open and lick it?
God damn it!
Just asking.
Oh.
And then,
Yeah.
did we mention that he farted during the interview?
Oh, that was a
yeah.
good gasser.
That was a good one.
I thought it was a burp.
Burp. Just fucking
was
skin
cool.
flapping.
Yeah, he's a nice man.
Yeah, nice enough guy. I got no problem with him.
I think he likes Howard Stern. I'm not sure though. I think
Did he mention him a
might
couple of
like
times?
Howard and. I wish you would mention the doctor's name just in case others are out there and need this.
Dr. Gelman.
Scrotal lymphedema. It's when there's a fluid.
There was.
When your pituitary gland causes a fluid to be fired into your scrotal area, and the skin's got a lot of elasticity, which will cause it to expand.
He does the best I
And
can
the cellular growth increases, so the skin does expand. Will normally happen to people with obesity and other things of that nature. But it's
nature.
yeah, scrotal fluid.
He had a lot of problem with like fat. You could tell down there, like everything was just sinking. Once it gets all fluidy,
Yeah.
it probably like fucking runs down. Like gravity just pulls it all down over his dick and everything.
It's like a big river sometimes. They want so much fluid.
Dr. Chip.
His balls are so big or something. They should put them on a gurney.
Jesus.
Operate on them with a big old saw or something. Hey, what are those? Your balls or something? Or you bring your own beanbag chair or something? Yeah. Got big mustache hairs and stuff.
Fucking Dr. Chip.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Good one.
We got three things to promote. We got Jimmy's comedy special. His special comes out Friday. Finally, American Degenerate premieres this Friday on Epix at 10 o'clock.
And EpixHD.com.
And the Great Open he filmed with a very special guest is up on our Facebook page right now. So go to Opie and Anthony on Facebook. Yes. Then you got Patrice O'Neal's latest album, Unreleased. It's out tomorrow on CD and iTunes. So please, we got a nice size fan base. Please, everyone go get that because it helps out his family, right?
Absolutely.
And it also, helps his legacy. I mean, his stuff is just unbelievable, obviously. And then our podcast number 14, that we weren't able to promote it last week because we were on vacation. It's out there for you to download this week or last week, I guess, officially. It's Joe Rogan and Papa Rock. It's a very good podcast, number 14. Go get it. All right?
Nice.